European Union has withdrawn a document that recommended against using the phrase Christmas period. The Vatican, who was among those who pushed back against the document. The controversial document was called Union of Equality. It recommended using the phrase holiday period, saying it would, quote, avoid discrimination and promote inclusivity. EWTN News Rome Correspondent Colm Flynn joins us now. Colm, great to see you. Tell us, I understand the document received a lot of pushback, including from the Vatican. What more can you tell us about that?
Good evening, Tracy. Yes, that's right. The European Commission yesterday did a U-turn and retracted an internal communication guideline which had suggested to staff at the European Commission not to use the word Christmas and instead use the word holiday. So, for example, holiday season instead of Christmas season. Now, this was a 32-page internal document called #Union of Equality. It was intended for staff working at the European Commission, which is the executive level of the European Union. So these are people in very high positions in both Brussels and Luxembourg. It was a guide on how they should communicate and the type of language they should and should not use when sending out memos, putting posts on social media, and so on. The document also said to avoid assuming that everyone is Christian, end quote. Under the headline of do's and don'ts, it gave examples of language that it thought could be problematic and suggested alternatives. For example, it suggested that instead of saying, quote, Christmas time can be stressful, one should say holiday times can be stressful. Now, there was a strong reaction to the document, with many claiming it was trying to cancel Christmas and Europe's Christian roots. One of the strongest reactions was from the Vatican's Secretary of State, Cardinal Pietro Parolin. He released a video responding to the guidelines, saying that it went against reality and said that while he applauded the Commission's efforts to eradicate discrimination, this couldn't involve the, quote, cancellation of our roots, the Christian demise of Europe, especially with regard to Christian festivals, end quote. Now, the Cardinal went on to stress that one of the main influences in the establishment of Europe was Christianity, and that could not be ignored.
Colm, I'm curious, did the European Commission, did they issue a response after the Vatican's reaction?
Yes, Tracy. Well, they retracted the document, and the European Commissioner for Equality, Helena Dalli, who was responsible for the document, she said that it was intended to encourage diversity and showcase, quote, inclusive nature of the European Commission. She then admitted, though, that the document had failed to do this. The guidelines clearly need more work, she said. And she said that an updated version would be released in the future. Now, it seems most people following the story saw this as a victory for common sense. But one Dutch MP, Sophie Veld, she said that she was concerned by the Commission's sudden retreat and said that they deserved praise for having the courage to address the issue, be it in a somewhat clumsy way.
Colm, quickly, before I let you go, what else was included in the now retracted document? What do you know about that?
Well, there was quite a bit, Tracy, but some of the ones that stand out. The document suggested that when people were presenting hypothetical examples, officials should not choose names that were typically from one religion. So an example they gave was that instead of using Maria and John, an international couple, the guide recommended saying Malika and Giulio are an international couple. It also said that staff should not assume people were, quote, white and married. It said that it was best to avoid gender-specific words and phrases such as chairman, ladies and gentlemen, and man-made. Tracy?
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Colm. Colm Flynn, EWTN News Rome Correspondent. Appreciate the time.
Thank you, Tracy.